Hi, welcome to Survival Skills. I'm going to show off a raid farm that DK made. DK is one of the guys on the Hardway server, and we did a little testing together, but he basically built this, and he's done all of the upgrades and stuff. So, all the credit to him. He's got a channel. I'll put a link to his channel, and he's starting out to make videos and experimenting with formats and stuff. But he's already got some really good content up there, so I encourage you to go take a look at his channel and follow him because every video he does gets better and better, and it's always some interesting subject matter because he's a real inventor. So go check him out. Anyway, this is the raid farm that he built, and I'm going to go into first person here so we can look around. This is a Avomance build, but DK has optimized it now. Really optimized it. It's fantastic. It's produced enough emeralds to make an emerald beacon that's an emerald super beacon. So almost all of the emeralds, well, those emeralds come from two places to make this beacon. This is a lot of emerald blocks to make this. They come from this farm, a lot of them do, and then some of them come from his awesome villager trading hall, which I will go back to. If you've been watching these videos, I did an iron farm a video a while back where we did this very unique iron farm, and I showed the beginnings of the villager trading hall. Well, that's been built now, and that produces the emeralds for this beacon. So I'll show that off. It's a pretty cool farm, and DK did a video on some of the details on that farm. So I'll link that to that video. Anyway, this is the Avomance raid farm with optimizations. So we built the farm and we learned what works and what doesn't. We fixed what doesn't, and now we've got a pretty much a perfect farm. Um, this is a good area here. We have a little bit more clearing to do, but this will give you an idea of how far around you you need to level and clear the terrain to make one of these farms. We're not done with it yet. Like this water right here, we're going to fill this in actually. We got a really great cobblestone generator from Il Mongo, so we're going to use cobble to fill in and then put grass on top so it'll all look grassy when we're done, and just fill in all the way around this. And it's not really hurting production right now. We get really fantastic results from the raids, but we just want to finish it off, the right way, the way it should look. And so I might come back when we're done to show you what the best perimeter looks like for one of these farms. So the way this works is you have to get omen and then you have to come here. So we didn't try to make one of those all-in-one farms. We may try that. We've got two outposts. One of them is being used to get omen right now, and the other one is still available. So we bring omen here. It kicks off the raid. The raiders come from all around, and they generally will come as a pack from one of these directions. Usually they're coming from over here. Sometimes they'll come across the river, and we just made some little paths for them to get across the river there. So eventually we're going to give them, a full open access to this. They'll come over here. The Ravengers get caught in these lava blades right here. This is another optimization we want to make. I saw it in a RaiseWorks video. We might be able to optimize this so that if there's a rider on top of the Ravenger, we want that rider to pop off and go into the water instead of getting cooked, because sometimes there's an evoker riding that Ravenger, and we want the goodies from the evoker, so we don't want them to burn up. So we'll add that optimization, but right now it's not a big deal. We lose the rider, but we also catch the Ravenger. And then when the Ravenger finally burns up, then the saddle drops in the water and goes down into the collection system down in the farm. So this catches Ravengers. Everybody else just runs in trying to get to that villager and get swept down into the killing area below. And we can just drop down here. And this is where we do the work. So you stand right here, and we learned the hard way that if there are evokers, you've got to get them like in one hit. So we have good swords, and we try to keep this pit clear when there are evokers in the pack, especially when there are evokers and witches, because if you attack an evoker, it doesn't matter whether he can see you or not. I thought if he couldn't see you, you'd be okay. Not true. If you damage the evoker, he'll start um, evoking what you call it, vexes, and they're it's kind of fun, but they kind of wreak havoc on you too. So if you get them in one shot, so this is a one-hit kill, dropping them down far enough to get a one-hit kill on them, then no vexes, right? So I can't remember what this is for. I have no memory of what that's for. But DK put a bell in here. So, well, that's not a bell. That's a lever. There's a bell back there, and the lever operates a timer circuit that rings the bell for you. So then you can look up and you can see what's coming. And I'll show you an example of the bell in just a second. So that's how this works, and you can see that it's a very productive farm. We got the emeralds to make that beacon, and then we got enough totems of undying that we're just at this point we just throw them out. We don't need them because we always get like 5 or 6 on any given raid. So you whack them down into a hopper, down into a chest, and we didn't put a fancy storage system in here. By the way, I think there's a villager down here underneath. I'm not sure about the Avomance design, but they're all pretty much designed that way. You've got a villager down here, established as the center of the village, right? So this is what makes the village down here. And then we've got a villager up top, but his purpose is to get the raiding party to jump into the water quicker. So you could do it without him, but what we observed was that they tend to wander around out there. They'll eventually find the center of the village and go for the center of the village, but if they see this guy, they run right in. So that's the improvement that this makes. He does not establish the center of the village. The villager down underneath the killing area does that, but he's bait to get them to notice and come in quicker. Let me set the time today. And I'd run a raid, but I thought about it, but I'm not sure it'd be the most exciting video. We can do that if you all just want to see a video now that you know how the farm works. We can just do a video of us running a raid so you can see what it looks like. But for right now, let's go see how we get omen. So we have to bring omen to this farm. So we have an outpost. We have 2 outposts, and we converted one of them to an omen farm. So I'm going to warp over to our outpost so you can see how we do that. Now there's lots of ways to do this, but again, DK wanted to do it this way, and you've probably seen similar in other videos, but this is optimized to the max. So he did this perimeter here. Basically, he stood here in the middle, and he looked to see where they spawn, because this was an outpost. He took the outpost out, then he looked to see where they spawn, and if he saw one spawn, he carved it out a little further until he eventually got this square perimeter that you see around you, so that you very rarely see a pillager spawn outside of this area. So then what we noticed was that some of them, that we've got a villager in the middle here, right? They see this villager. Actually, we got a bunch of them. They see these villagers. You only need one really, though. And they'll run for these villagers, and that's what draws them into the pit. So the same as on the raid farm, but this is for omen. The thing we notice is that if they spawned out in this area here where you see the leaves, they can't see that far. So they wouldn't come in. They might wander around and eventually come in, but they weren't coming in immediately. So we figured, why waste all these spawns out here? Let's concentrate the spawns. So started testing and basically filled this geometric shape, and just turns out to be a circle, right? Until so we would have them spawn, and we would then, if they didn't move toward the village, we would put a leaf block there. We kept moving it in until any of them that spawns goes immediately, very quickly sees these villagers and goes for the villagers. So this is a super efficient spawning area right here. We get a good concentration of pillagers, and they go quickly for the villagers. Now, if they see you, of course, they're going to go for you, which is what these guys are doing. So let me see if I can get downstairs so you can see what's going on downstairs. See if I can get in here without getting shot too much. So then you just come on down here, and it's automatic. You don't have to be up there. Come down here and you just wait for them to drop. So you got a captain right there. So if I want omen right now, I can get it. This is the bell that I showed you in the other farm. So if I turn this on, it will chime every so many seconds, and you'll see their outlines. And if you look up, you can see what's going on over your head. You don't have to go up. You can see what's up there. So you'll see them coming in. And then you just stand down here. I could have omen level 2 now, right? Got 2 captains. So just stand down here. It doesn't take very long to get omen 6. I'm going to turn the bell off now. And then this is just a drop area. We don't need any of this. Well, DK is collecting these enchanted bows, but I have a feeling he's going to get tired of it after a while, because, you know, you only need so many enchanted crossbows, right? So you get omen, and then you pop back over to the raid farm. So if we go back to, well, you know what? Let's just let you see it in operation. We're at 12 minutes right now, so I'm going to get omen. Oh, so I got like omen 3 or something here. Let's see what I have. I have let's close my cheat thing. Ooh, wow, I got omen 4 in a hurry there, didn't I? Should I wait for another captain? Let's see how long it might not. It might take too long, so I might not wait. But you can see that they drop in, you know, quick. So I've already got omen 4. Let's go back to the raid farm. So you can see that this kicked off a raid, and I might not let this play all the way out because, you know, I don't know if you want to see the whole thing. Let's just see how long we can go here. Maybe I'll cut the video at, you know, when it starts to get boring. So then you can walk around up here and you can look to see where they're coming from. So they're coming from over here. And this is a good way to see, like, if there are any evokers in the party, because if there are, you want to get them quick. You want to go down in the pit and wait for them and whack them as soon as they drop. Because if you don't efficiently dispatch the evokers, they'll start spawning vexes, and you don't want that. I've got my elytra on right now. Let me put my chest plate on instead. Yep, and so now they see this villager here. They're all drawn in. They'll hang there for a second, but they'll eventually drop down. Any Ravengers will be burned up in the blade here, and we'll probably see some of those in the next raid wave. So you can just stand down here and work the raid. So that kicked off another raid. And if I want to see them coming in from down here, I can just stand here and watch. But let's go up and see what we've got. It's pretty efficient with this bubble elevator to just come on up and take a look, see where they're coming from. Sometimes the witches will wander around out there, so every once in a while you will have to drop down and go hurry up the witch. But other than that, they come in pretty quickly. So here they are. They're coming from the same place again. I think it would be good to like mow that grass down and level that out there. So then you can kind of get a quick idea of like what you're going to get in the raid. So we don't have anything really special here. And there you can see where the bell rang. It's outlining them in white. Let's go on down so you can see how that looks. So if we look over our heads here, you'll see them coming in. And they'll drop down. And you just clear this pack and it'll kick off the next raid. And I really don't know how many waves. It's a bunch of waves. We probably won't have time to watch the entire raid, but I wanted to hopefully get a couple of evokers so you can see what happens to the evokers. I mean, not the evokers, the Ravengers. I wanted you to see how that that Ravenger blade works. So we got one raider remaining here. Sometimes there's a witch running around out there looking for someone to throw potions at. So you can just come on up here and look. Okay, now it's just a slow Vindicator. So he's going to drop down in a second here. And we'll kick off one more raid. I think we'll do one more wave, and then we'll wrap up. So there he is. And he might resist the current for a little bit up there, but he's eventually going to drop down here. And I think in the next wave we'll probably get some Ravengers. Wandering Trader is not going to have a good day if they see him. Okay, so here comes a Ravenger. And let's just let you see what the lava blade does. And there is an optimization from Raceworks that sometimes there's a rider on top of the Ravenger. Right now, if there's a rider, the Ravenger and the rider are going to get burned up in the lava blade. There is an optimization that can be done. I don't know if we can apply it to this farm or not. That will actually pop the rider off the top of the Ravenger, drop the rider into the water so that you don't lose the rider. But this is what happens with the Ravenger. He goes into that water stream because that's the only place he can get through. And then when he's done, he's just going to drop a saddle and it's going to just go down. So we get the saddles too, which is kind of good stuff. Like in 1.16, you know, we don't have our fish farms and stuff, so any place we can get a saddle is good. So I'll finish off this raid off camera, but that's basically how it works, and we're going to do some more optimization around here later on to clear out and fill in all the way around this farm. So it's very, very efficient now. It'll be even more efficient when we're done. So that's the raid farm. I have a lot more to show you, but that's all we have time for today. So if you liked the video, please click the like button. And if you have questions or comments, please leave those below. And maybe consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell if you want to make sure not to miss out on future videos. Thanks a lot for your support for the channel. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.